Good morning, students. Today we will learn about the types of fluid and movements of the fluid. So, how fluid can move in our body and how system occurs in our whole vital organs of the body. Okay. So, in last session we already discussed about the introduction and main function of the fluid in our body. Now, today we will learn about the types and movements of fluid. So, first of all, we will see about the fluid types. So how many types of fluid included in our body? So fluid in body generally are not found in pure form, means fluid are not found pure in our body, but it will be divided in some particles or liquid. Okay. So many of the constituents of seen or present into the fluid. Okay. So the types of fluid mainly is three: isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic. Okay. So there are mainly three types of the fluid: isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic fluid. So defined in terms of the amount of solute or dissolved substance in the solution. Means suppose one solution is there and the amount or substance which we dissolved in that solution, which is known as a solute. Okay. So the amount of solute form which dissolve in substance or solution known as a fluid. So balancing this fluid, which involves the shifting of fluid, not the solute involved. Okay. So the movement means shifting from one to another, or balancing is not depend on the solute involvement. Okay. So these are information regarding the fluid types. Next, that is the composition of the body fluid. Means in our body there are many kind of the fluids present. So what kind of the composition present in our body fluid? So first of all, that is the electrolytes and non-electrolytes, two things mainly. So what is the difference and what involvement of the non-electrolyte as well as electrolyte components? So non-electrolytes include the most organic molecules but do not disassociate in water and carry no net electrical charge. First and main difference between the electrical and non-electrical is non-electrical substance having no electrical charge. Okay. So they not carry any electrical charge, plus they are organic molecules, second thing, and they are not dissolved in this associate water. Okay. So these main three differences between the electrolytes and non-electrolytes. Then electrolytes. So now we will learn about that. Electrolytes dissociate in water and ions. So electrolytes disassociate in water to ions. Okay. Means electrolyte easily dissolved in solution because they carrying electrical charge plus ions in water, and they are inorganic salts. Okay. So this is the major difference we learn here, that is the non-electron have organic molecules and not electrical charge, but electrolytes having the electrical charge as well as inorganic salt. Okay. Like acid and base and some proteins also. So these all are involvement present or composition in electrolytes. So the major cation in extracellular fluid is sodium and the major anion is chloride. So here is a example for body fluid. So here for the example, there are main two differences seen, like intracellular fluid which is present inside the cell and extracellular fluid which are outside the cell. So what are the difference between that? Means the major cation in extracellular present is the sodium and the major anion is the chloride. Same as intracellular, major cation potassium and major anion phosphate. Okay. So this is one example. Next, that is electrolytes are the most abundant solvents in body fluid, but proteins and some non-electrolytes also account for the to 97% of the dissolved solutes. Okay, so here it is shown that the electrolytes having solutes in body fluid, but not only solutes or electricals, but proteins, okay, and some non-electrolytes also present in some amount in our body. So this is about the composition of the body fluid. Next, that is the principle of body water distribution, means how in our body distribution for body water. So there are some principles for the distribution of the body water in our body. So body control system regulated by the ingestion and excretion. We all know that we intake some, okay, food, liquid, etc., juices, and also excretory system also there in our body. So the control or balancing system run or regulated by these ions, okay, or electrolytes and body fluids. So it is a major important role for maintenance. Constant total body water and constant total body osmolarity will be maintained. So this is mainly two criteria for the body water distribution. What are they? Constant total body water and constant total body osmolarity. So both are very important, and homeostatic mechanism respond to changes in extracellular fluid. Means homeostatic means the balancing occur in our body. So by distribution of the water, homeostatic balancing maintain where place, that is extracellular fluid. So no receptor directly monitor fluid or electrolyte balance, okay, and respond to changes in plasma volume or osmotic concentration. So not only distribution of water, but here monitoring of the fluid and electrolyte balance, as well as the volume of plasma, osmolarity, okay, concentration, all are depend for the and very necessary for the maintenance of the body fluid and body water distribution. Okay, so these all are the principles of the body water distribution. Next, we will learn about the fluid movements. So how fluid can shifting in our body. Okay, so there are some fluid movements for shifting or moving in our body. So movements of fluids is due to hydrostatic pressure differentials and osmotic pressure differentials. So here two pressures required for the movement of fluid, that are hydrostatic pressure and osmotic pressure. Okay, so both are very important for fluid movements. So now types of the movement of the body fluid, means they are divided into four: diffusion, osmosis, actively transportation, and filtration. Four movements are required for the body fluid. So we will run one by one. First of all, here it is shown that the osmosis. So by figure we can easily gain some knowledge regarding the osmosis. So there are two container in that particles or fluid also present. So high solution concentration and low fluid concentration. So here solution high, concentration low. It is shown in first bowl, and same second bowl, low solute concentration and high fluid. So there are changes in two of the two container. So by that the fluid movement occur by the principle of the osmosis. Okay, so the particles will be here in lower part, and second container it is a high level. Okay, so this is occur due to the concentration as well as fluid movement type, means osmosis. Okay, so it is done by the osmosis type. Next, that is the diffusion. So what is the diffusion? Here one container is there, in that fluid and solutes both are present, but one side it is shown that the high solute present concentration, and second one solute level is low and concentration also low. So the fluid will be transferred from second part to one part, and solutes will be one to second part. Okay, so here it is a movement by the here to there and first to second. Okay, so this is the type of movement fluid, that is diffusion. So the principle of these all body fluid movements is main is the concentration as well as solute level. Okay, both are depend on that two principles. Next, that is the active transport. Okay, so here it is divided intracellular fluid and extracellular fluid. So we can easily find out the difference in first part, that is the Na plus, which already carrying the ATP also, and second part that is Na plus but no ATP. Okay, so transfer here to there. Okay, and in same level, that is the intracellular side, K plus is higher and extracellular side K plus is low. So here we can find out the difference, means that is the ATP actively transfer from intracellular to extracellular. Okay, so ATP having a lower amount. Okay, and the electrolytes highly into the intracellular here and extracellular Na plus. Okay, so this is the done by the actively principle, which based on the intracellular fluid and extracellular fluid. Last one, that is the filtration. Filtration is the transport of the water and dissolved material through a membrane from an area of higher pressure to the lower pressure. Same we discussed earlier into the osmosis and diffusion also. So filtration is also the transport of the water and dissolved particles which carry from higher pressure to the lower pressure. Okay, so this is on base of the concentration. So fluid movement among the compartments. So how the fluid movement occur among the different compartments. So compartmental exchange is regulated by the osmotic and hydrostatic pressure. We already discussed earlier, that is the two pressure are very required for the fluid movement. So it is based on the hydrostatic and osmotic pressure. Second one, that is the ion flux are restricted and move selectively by the active transport, as we learned earlier, that is the active transport based on the ATP charges as well as intracellular and extracellular fluid. Then net leakage of the fluid from the blood is picked up by the lymphatic vessel and returned into the bloodstream. Means we all know that lymphatic vessels and blood vessels having a fluid, so but not leakage occur into the blood, so by easily pick up the lymphatic vessel and it will goes into the return back of the bloodstream. Okay, so this is also based on the fluid movement. Next, that is the nutrients and respiratory gases and wastage material move unidirectionally, because nutrients are taken in our body but it will not return back, means not in unidirectional. Same sequence level like ingestion, digestion, distribution and metabolism. So it will be divided into that manner, not directionally, but it will be goes into the unidirectionally. Then exchanges between the interstitial and intracellular fluid are complex due to the selective permeability of the cellular membrane. Means some fluid which are complex due to the permeability, means cells having the capacity of the involvement of the particles. So it is depend on the cellular membrane. So by based on the cellular membrane, they can easily transfer into the whole cell. Last, that is the two-way water flow is a substantial, and plasma is only fluid that circulate throughout the body but link external as well as internal environment also. So here this line is very important for you, that is plasma is only fluid in our body which circulate into body which link external as well as internal both environment, and osmolarities of the all body fluid are equal. Changes in solute concentration are quickly followed by the osmotic changes. So next in session we will learn about the osmolarity. Okay, so these all are about the principle of body fluid and types of the body fluid. Okay, so if you find any doubt, you may notify to me. Thank you.